In this exercise, we're going to be discussing section views. Section view to me is one of the things that really makes Inventor worth its money. And let's take a look at these. So we come up to the top under Place Views and we hit Section. And then we come in here and it asks to select a view. And I can come up here, draw a line, right click and say Continue, and I get the Section View dialog. This allows me to do things like set the view identifier. I can tell it if I want the label to be underneath it, what scale I want it to be, what style I want it to be. And then it asks for the section depth. And I'll explain that in a second here. And it'll ask for the slice. So let me go ahead and drop that so I can show you what the depth's really going to mean. And you can see there I get the depth line. And basically how far is it going to look into the part. Now I want to drop it over here just for space reasons, but I want it to face the other way. So what I can do is I can highlight it, right click and say reverse direction. So now it's looking this way. What the depth does for me is it decides how much past the part is it going to go. So of course it's going to slice anything where this line touches, but I told it only go a 1/4 inch past. So a 1/4 inch from here to here, it's not going to see this face here that's on the back because this depth is only a 1/4 inch. If I need to edit this, I can right click and say edit. And what this will do is this will allow me to go into my sketch frame of mind and actually do things like constraints. I could constrain this to the center of this circle, for example. I could lock it in there. I can project that onto there. I can go in and create a whole new section line. I draw a new line in here. Whatever I want to draw, Inventor will create. Delete out the original there. So you can see there, it used whatever I used. If I actually want to edit the view itself, click on it, right click and say edit section properties. And that'll allow me to do things like edit the distance. It'll allow me to do slices. You notice if I say slice the whole part, what that does is instead of it looking so far past the section line, exactly where it's touching the section line is all it'll show. So if there's anything in the background behind it, it will not show that. If you turn that off, you can actually set a distance of how far that line needs to be away. Now you will notice that the line doesn't jog with the rest of the part. Come in here and I'll flip this the other way so you can see it a little bit better. If I edit this again, we go to a 1/4 inch there. What I'll do is I'll move this line into here and you'll see that you won't be able to see it still. Basically what happens is whatever gets closer, it turns it all on or none on. It doesn't actually slice across this horizontal here. It doesn't understand that. So if any of it touches it, it'll show all of it. So we can see there the section view with depth. You do have the option to only create the slice from start. So if I come up here, I select this, basically say just slice it, don't even give me a depth. And it'll give me a slice of the part. Now one thing to watch out for when you're doing the section view, I do this all the time myself, is number one, make sure you don't have something highlighted. Because if I'm going down here to work on this and I think I don't have anything highlighted and I hit section, it will actually let me draw the section view down here, but it's doing it for this view up here. And so therefore it doesn't really work. Now if I drag my arrows up here, then I can actually see the section view because it's saying, where do you want to section it? So by me having the arrows down here, basically it's sectioning error. If I delete the arrow, it actually deletes the entire view. The other pitfall to watch out for is snapping or constraining. So I went in there and drew this section line and I decided, hey, wait a minute, I want to move this away. You can see I can't move my line away because I snapped to that circle. The way to fix that is you right click and you say edit and we come back to our sketches. So we can say F8. So we can see that this is a line to that center point of that circle. We hit delete. Now, just like in a sketch, we can move this line around. We hit finish, and now we can move our section. So if you do happen to snap to something, don't worry about it. We can go in there and edit that. Now let's do a hands-on exercise here. We're going to open up the collarflange.idw. Should be under chapter 10. Collar flange assembly. And we're going to go through and we're going to create a section view. So we'll hit the section command and we'll pick what view we want to pick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select up here at the top. I'm going to come down here and collect the center point there. And then I'm going to make sure I hit the center point of that circle there. What that does is it locks me in at my angle that I want to be. And I drag it over to the right. Now you can see I have a full section view. Now I do have the ability to come in here and turn on and off parts. So say I didn't want the core to show up in here. If I expand out my section view here, right click on the insert and turn off the visibility. So I won't see the core at all, I only see the outer casing. I also have the ability to tell it not to participate. So if I, for example, wanted to right click on this, say don't participate in sections, or what I could do is tell it to only participate in a slice, not a section. If I do another section on this time I'll go this way. You'll notice that the lid, or the cap they call it, I told it don't participate at all. It didn't participate. And then the insert, told it only to slice. So if I come in here and I edit my section view, tell it to slice, we can see that our insert doesn't show up. If I edit it again and turn it back off, basically, whenever you select this, you're not telling it to participate, you're telling it what it doesn't want to participate in. Do you only want it to participate if this and not if that? So most of the time you're going to leave that on, but you are going to have the occasional part where you don't want it to participate. So try to create the section CC here, where every part participates, and then create the section DD, where one or two of the parts don't actually participate in that. I'll save this so you can take a look at it, see what I did here. Try it on your own and see what you can come up with. Sections can be frustrating whenever we start going through the middle of something like that. So be careful making sure that you get the right point. If you do mess up, don't forget you can right click on here and we can go to edit. And we can use our constraints and actually edit how it snaps through those points and change that angle if we need to. So if I need to come in here and edit this, say F8. See, I have a bunch of snap points there where it tried to snap through everything. I can actually change this down to here. So now my part changed. Because it's free moving, I can change it even more. And it allows me to move it around. Now ideally you want to snap to the center of that. If you didn't snap to the center of it and you want to lock it to the center of that, what we can do is right click and say edit. And just use our constraints. So we have our constraint tool. We can project in that circle there. We could say constraint to the center of that circle. We can delete that old one there that we had. So now it's locked to the center of that circle. It won't go anywhere. Just like in sketching, you do want to make sure that that's fully constrained when you're doing a situation like this. If it was just going straight through, like the D, don't have to worry about it being fully constrained. But with C, where we're wanting to go through the very center of the holes, you do want to try to make sure you constrain it to the center of the holes so that you get a good lock. So try this, have some fun with it, and see how powerful Inventor really is with this.